Martial here. Welcome to another brand new album review, and this is probably the most anticipated album in a long time. We have been waiting for this album for many a year, and we're talking about Porcupine Tree-Closure continuation. Porcupine Tree, formed by the fantastic Steve Wilson in 1987, and this album is the 11th album, and it's their first since 2009, which was the incident. This is just, it's been an album in everyone wanted, and it is absolutely brilliant. The album was recorded on and off in complete secrecy among members Steve Wilson, Gavin Harrison and Richard Barberi. I mean, they've all been going off doing other stuff, of course. I mean, Steve Wilson's been doing producing, one of them's been touring with King Crimson, so it's not like they've been idle. They've all just been doing other things. So Closure Continuation is the 11th album, and of course it's Steve Wilson does the vocals, guitars and bass, Richard Barberi, I think that's how you pronounce it, keyboards and synthesizers, and Gavin Harrison on the drums and percussion. First track on here is the track that we heard, and I did a response to it, Harridan. This just starts off with that great bass riff, and I think Gavin Harrison's drums on this are brilliant. I've always liked this from the moment I heard it. It's just a really strong track. Great vocal from Steve Wilson. The keyboards from Richard are brilliant on this. Some great riffs. It's a terrific song. Full stop. Then the second track is Of the New Day. There's some really nice, gentle arrangements on here. Great vocal from Steve Wilson. It's a terrific track. The keyboards sound good. The delicate drums. It is really good. I like that track as well. Then we get Rat's Return. Love Gavin's drum on this. It's just one of them typical weird Porcupine Tree tracks that you just love. It's prog techno sort of sound. It's really good. I really like that track as well. Then we get Dignity, just modern day progressive rock at its best. They take their influences from the past, give it a modern twist. It's just a great track, one of my favourites. Steve Wilson's guitar work on this towards the end is absolutely outstanding. Then we get my favourite track on the album. It's heard Culling. This track starts off with that nice gentle sound, and then you about 3/4 of the way through you get this powerful guitar riff. Gavin's drums come through. The riffs from Steve Wilson are brilliant. That solo is so good. You can get immersed in that, and it's a brilliant track. Walk the Plank. It's got some nice ambient atmosphere on this. Again, Gavin Harrison's drumming is really good. Added in with Richard's little keyboard bits, a little bit funky in places, a little bit different from the other tracks on the album, but it's still a quality track. Then the next track on this great album is Chimera's Wreck. The guitar work on this one is outstanding. I think this is some, and also this is some of Gavin Harrison's best drumming. Really works well, and then you get a lovely bass line from Steve as well. Terrific track. Then we got Population 3. These tracks just keep coming, and this is another one. Lots of atmosphere on this. Great vocal from Steve. I think this is probably his best performance on this album. His voice just sounds as strong as ever. It's a terrific track. Never Have. Love the start of this. I like the piano. Then I think something like, I don't know if it is a xylophone or a keyboard effect, but it really adds texture to this track. Then we get the last track, which is Love in the Past Tense. Probably the weakest track on the album in my opinion, but it doesn't make it a terrible track. I just don't think it's got the same punch as the previous 9. Although there's some really nice guitar pieces on this. Can't deny that. It's some great guitar. I think this is a very, very strong album. It's just good progressive rock done in a modern way. Something that Steve Wilson and co do a very good job. I've played this since it's come out. I have played this a lot, and it is becoming a firm favourite. May have taken how many years? 12, 13 years to come out, but was it worth the wait? You know, I think everybody wanted them to come out, but they've come back with a huge punch. I hope we don't have to wait so long for the next one, but this album is fast becoming my favourite Porcupine Tree album. It's probably one of the best progressive rock albums in the last 2 or 3 years, and I think this is probably their best album, without doubt. Ask me again in a few months' time, and I might be able to give you the definitive answer to that. But at the moment, I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay, that's all for this week. As I said on the Rammstein line, I'm off this weekend to see a AC/DC tribute band, which I'm looking forward to immensely. We'll be back on Monday, and we're starting on Monday with the first part of the new series of we're doing the story of Sammy Hagar. So we're going to do a little bit of Montrose on Monday, and the classic album next week is a really good album from the 80s, 90s, from Elvis Costello and the Attractions, and the album is this year's Model. So looking forward to that. Whatever you're doing this weekend, have a great weekend. If you're in the UK, you know you're going to get some really good hot weather, so stay cool but enjoy it. So I will see you all Monday. Bye for now.